Welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to have you all here again, and you'll be very thrilled to know that I'm speaking with Nathalie Carden today, who is laughing because I want to say it the French way because Natalie is
Oh,
from.
yeah.
And I'm thrilled at that as well because this is what I love about life is meeting people from all parts of the world and often wonder why they've come to this country. But I'm very glad you're here, Nathalie. So Nathalie is a sound healer and she owns Zen Sound Healing and she's going to tell us about her journey. So welcome, Nathalie.
Hi. Bonjour.
Well, it's been many years since I did French at school, but I'm typical Brit, rely on everybody speaking English. So it's wonderful that you're here. So tell me then, Nathalie, what's your history? How did you start getting interested in sound and sound as a therapy?
Okay, so sound wasn't my first modality, I have to say. Um, I've studied and qualified in many other modalities before that, including Reiki, Rahane, healing. I qualified as a meditation teacher. I looked into crystals, did a few little things here and there. Was very interested also into quantum healing. And as I progressed, because you've got to say that really my path started 20 years ago plus,
Yeah.
a long time. So it was a gradual progression. And I think I got to 2020 when COVID happened,
Oh,
and I just came across sound healing. And I've always loved music and always realized that with music, you can either help yourself bring certain emotions to the surface and release them, or you could put yourself in a state of joy and upliftment.
true.
So I always sort of knew that inherently. But then I came across this course, and that's when I qualified as a tuning fork therapist, and that was back in 2020, as I mentioned. So I started with the tuning fork therapy, and the more I was learning, the more I was looking into it, the more I realized I've done this before. I've done this in other lifetimes, many, but I'll regress a little bit. Before COVID, I joined a shamanic drumming workshop.
Yeah.
I'd never held a drum in my life, ever.
Okay.
So I asked if I could borrow one of the drums because I didn't have one. And I picked up this drum, and I do not know what happened. Honestly, it was amazing. It was like I've always done this. And I started to sing in Native American language. So it was transformational for me. I knew I'd tapped into something that was deep within myself. And so the tuning forks really were just an add-on, because then between the workshop, the shamanic workshop, and qualifying, I actually had someone make my drum for me, and it was so beautiful. The lady delivered the drum to my house. She's such a lovely soul as well. And she said, "You never guess what?" Because I asked for reindeer skin. She said, "You never guess what? A reindeer has appeared on the drum yesterday. When I hold the drum to the light, you can see the shadow of reindeer." So I already knew there was something, it really felt at home for me. So the rest of it was basically to learn properly how to do things. But from there, I then, like I've done with all my modalities, if I'm honest, I've allowed what needs to come through me. So then from the tuning fork, I went on to qualifying as a gong master last year. I did an intensive course in London. So I use many different things, and I was running a sand bath last night actually, which was absolutely beautiful. Connecting to the dreamscape, which was very powerful.
So maybe you need to explain to some of the audience what a sound bath is and how you would use gongs and things.
So within a sound bath, I basically ask people to allow themselves to receive the sounds and the frequencies that they need for themselves. Whether they are going to be aware of how deeply these frequencies are going to affect them or not, that's different for everyone. But generally, when I have done a sound bath, I've had people saying things like, I felt elevated. I felt like I was floating. I felt like I was going to cry. I felt goosebumps all over my body. I've never slept so well in years. I felt really stressed when I came, but now I feel really happy. It's different for everyone, and it's different every time, because before running anything, and that goes for a one-to-one session or a sand bath or a workshop. I run many workshops. I tune into my own heart center and I connect with source. And I always ask that whatever I do, I'm fully guided from the highest and the highest with the purest heart. And that's how I work. And I very much work on a vibration of compassion, forgiveness, and mercy, and unconditional love. So that's what I bring in. That's what I bring in.
Oh, very beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so what would you say is your favorite aspect of sound work? What does it do for you?
For me personally, it allows me to connect to those higher vibrations. It allows me to feel my heart expand, which I have found on a very deep level. But sometimes I also feel that it allows me to release something from within that maybe was stuck. And it came up to the surface, but I can't shift it unless I use sound and other things as well, not just the sound, but the sound put together with everything else is just extremely powerful.
So there's a lot of self-healing involved as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am continuously doing healing on myself, because my journey is also very important. I need to be as clear a channel as possible.
Yes, I can understand that.
And that is where I come from. You need to
continual journey.
We need to heal ourselves first. But I have to tell you that my journey was not an easy one. I'm not here now where I am without having experienced trauma, without having experienced things that you don't really want to think about.
Yeah, so do you consider yourself a wounded healer, or do you think, and is your healing ongoing, or do you think you've...
My understanding of wounded healer, I'm not coming from a place of rescuing at all. I am coming from a place of empowerment. I've not always been like this. I was a wounded healer. So I've had the wounds, I've had the trauma, but I've started to heal all of those. And by doing it for myself, and now I understand how to help other people. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Because and I can also relate to other people. I can have the empathy and the
so
listening
experience. What kind of people come to you? Do you attract a certain type of person to you personally?
I could honestly say I attract many different types of people, many different sort of backgrounds, cultures, experiences, men and women, because it's actually something that I asked for many years ago. I was so aware that lots of women are on the spiritual path, so to speak, even though we are all spiritual beings, because in essence, we are spirit, mind, and body. And I did send out a message to the universe, please send me some men, because they need so much. They need to be held. They need to feel that nurturing. So I have quite a few male clients as well on a one-to-one session.
Yeah, yeah, that's lovely. So how do you work, and where do you work then? Do you work from home, or do you go to retreats, or?
Yeah, so I have a healing room at home. So I do my one-to-ones at home. My sound baths, I usually find a location where to do it. I run workshops in also different locations in Kent, but I'm also running retreats in Glastonbury. I've got one coming up on the 31st of May for the weekend, which is going to be profound.
Sounds lovely.
Always be very, very deep. There's going to be shifts and transformation. So what else do I do? I also do shamanic rituals. I do quantum regression because I've become aware, and that does happen a lot. As I'm doing a hands-on healing with sound, I very often become aware of other lifetimes that I've had unresolved issues. So through the sound, it goes much deeper than just the person I'm seeing right in front of me. It goes a lot further to other aspects of themselves.
And are your clients prepared for that generally? I mean, I would assume that some are very new and some are very experienced.
I do prepare them before I do the session, because I'm aware that they think that they might just come to have a bit of Reiki or whatever they wish for. But I always explain choices and what they can expect from whichever session they choose to have. And I just know that having the sound with everything else, it's so much more profound.
And do you work with children, or do you have an age sort of limit that you would go down? Yeah, do you work with
I have
babies?
Worked on not babies yet, yet, but I've had young. In fact, I think one of my clients, her daughter's about 12.
Oh yes, just awakening.
And she found it very helpful.
Yeah,
very helpful, because I'm also, as part of what I do within a session, because I'm a qualified spiritual life coach as well. Not only I prepare people before the session, as in I need to know where they're coming from, what's going on for them. And then I deliver, and then there's feedback, and then there's help, tips, and all sorts of things being transmitted.
And so how do you know which level to work with someone on, or what they would need? Is that intuitive, or do you work with guides?
I work with my own highest guidance. And I always ask that anything that comes through me is for the highest good of that person. So it's not so much a mental exercise, it's whatever my guidance is at that point in the now.
Yes, yeah.
So whatever I'm given to do, it's not coming from what I decide to do. I'm fully guided, in other words. The other thing that I'd like to mention, because it is part of the sound, and that is very, very important, is I speak light language. which is part of the language of the soul. It's like a cosmic language. It's made of codes. It's a bit like looking at a computer where, if you've ever seen The Matrix, where you've got all these codes, these computer codes coming down. Well, it's a bit like that, except that it's spoken through my voice. So I use the voice as a tool, as well as the instruments that I use.
So, and this is vibrational sound,
Yes.
creating those, and the meaning, the intention. Are you aware of the meaning and intention of that language when you're saying the words?
Sometimes I'm aware of the concept. It's not an actual translation. It's what the concept behind it is, what the energy behind it is. Because sometimes it could be that what I speak is on a healing vibration, or sometimes it can be that it's a sort of upgrading the field of the person that is sitting in my room.
Okay.
Or on Zoom, because I work online too. I've worked on people abroad as well.
You must be very busy.
I am getting very busy, actually.
Yeah, you're offering a lot there. So how do people choose? I mean, okay, somebody might think they want Reiki and then look you up, or they want to try a sound bath, but how do they choose when they talk to you? Do you tell them everything you do, or do you just wait to see what their needs are and then offer something?
Exactly that's what I do. I establish what their needs are, and I offer a free call where they're going to tell me what's going on. I'm already connected and intuitively knowing which way we need to go. So they can make more of an informed choice with where they want to go. And I will know if they're not ready for deeper things. I will know if they're just, needing just a gentler approach, maybe. Because I also offer, as well as being hands-on sound healing, I offer sessions where we dive deeper into the subconscious mind, where we go and heal the inner child, where we go and do shadow work, where we go and in the quantum field, which is basically a space, well, I don't even know how to describe it, is where everything you've ever lived as a soul and will ever live is there. So I'm totally guided by the higher self of the person sitting in front of me. Where do we need to go with this?
So some people might refer to that as the Akashic records. Is that the same?
But they are.
Yeah.
They are the Akashic records.
Yeah.
I was just trying to explain it if you're not familiar with the term.
I'm just checking myself.
Yeah, that's right.
That's lovely. So what's the most common ailment that you had success with? I mean, do people come with physical problems that are manifesting in their bodies and that? Is there something that you're very successful with?
I have been. I had a lady come to me last summer with tennis elbow. After one session, it was gone, never came back.
Oh, I bet that was a relief.
Yeah, it was. I had one young lady a couple of years ago who came to me with stomach issues, a lot of stomach issues, and again, amazing results with that. The lady who came with a tennis elbow came back with something going on with her shoulder. After just one session, again, 90% success rate, it was gone.
Lovely.
Because what shows up on the physical usually has an origin somewhere else. So I don't just work on the physicality of things. I work on where did that start? Where in your emotional body did this start? Where are we going with this? What do you need to know?
So tell me about your retreats then. Have you got retreats coming up in Glastonbury, just say in May? How would anybody find you? How would somebody contact you to find out more about these? And can anybody sign up and join in on the retreat at Glastonbury?
Yeah, well, they can. So to find me, I'm mainly on Facebook. I'm also on Instagram. So I suppose you will be posting links to my pages.
Everything, yes, everything will go in the description beneath or within this video. So I think most of the audience will know that. But if you're new to me and you haven't seen my channel before, go to the description and you'll find all the details that Nathalie is telling us. But what's the best way? What's the quickest way for someone to contact you?
The quickest way is to send me a messenger message request or to join my group on Facebook. Just send a request and I will just approve it.
Okay. Do you have an email address in case somebody doesn't have Facebook?
And I will be providing an email address if you want to contact me via email. So but I don't have a website. That's the only thing I do not have. So if you want any more information about anything that I do, it's best to email me or contact me via Messenger or via Instagram or join my group. Then you can see which events I'm putting on. Like, for example, on the 20th of April, I'm delivering a throat chakra workshop, which will be about 4 hours long. And that will be based on many different, not only having more knowledge about the throat chakra, but also going through different processes to allow whatever is stuck there to come up and be released and healed. And
sounds very interesting. Yes, yeah,
and
especially if you're a singer.
Well, it's for everyone, because there's so much stuff that we repress, that we hold back, and that usually stems all the way back to childhood. And it could be related to children do not speak at the table. That's just one example. So we are, conditioned, so to speak, and school is a big one, where we are conditioned not to speak when maybe we wanted to say something that would have enriched what was being delivered. So there's many different aspects to the throat chakra. There's also listening skills, where we're not really truly listening to other people. We hear them, but we're not really listening, not truly. And all that comes from different aspects.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
Yeah, and in May, I'm also delivering a fascinating workshop, which I've delivered before, on manifesting your heart's desire, but that will be through healing ancestral blockages within your ancestral lineage. So things that have impacted you now, where you are understanding that you can manifest, and I will be talking people through that too, and what's stopping you that you're not aware of from that manifestation.
We're definitely unconscious of a lot of things. we lack consciousness. So that's the primary thing, isn't it, about life, trying to become conscious. Lovely. Well, thank you. It's very eclectic. Your skills are quite vast, and your interests are quite broad. So what you're offering can suit a lot of people. So thank you very much, Nathalie. Can I just say to everybody, if you are interested in Nathalie, don't forget, it's all in the descriptor, and she's going to be very interesting to talk to, I think, especially if you've got a particular issue that you think she can help you with. So thank you very much, Nathalie, and I hope you've enjoyed talking about it and sharing with us.
Oh, I could talk about it for hours.
I'm sure there's a lot to it. Yes, thank you. Okay, then goodbye, everybody. See you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.